I don't think we'll be finished on reporting on Brexit for quite a long time. I spoke to a Swiss colleague of mine shortly after the referendum and said, how much work will I get out of this? And he said, at least 15 years. It's 15 years of lawyers, it's 15 years of hard slog, I suppose, 15 years, maybe not of trade negotiations, but look at Switzerland. You know, they're here all the time, and I'm afraid it's the story which isn't going to end.
If you have to speak in terms of football, English football for my part, how would you qualify this fight we have seen for 2.5 years?
Well, I mean, you've mentioned football, and I'm not going to fall into the trap that Steve McLaren did when he was at FC20 and try and put on a Dutch accent. But, well, one diplomat told me that the score was 1-1 and that no one had lost, but it hasn't felt that way. It's felt like we've lost.
Has Brussels played it fair, you think?
I don't think that they think in terms of fair or unfair. This isn't a union that is based first and foremost on values, no matter what they say. This is a club, and that's fine. You're either in the club, in which case you'll be protected, or you're out the club, and then you're on the other side.
So you mean the values were in the background, then it has been a rough game?
Well, it's been a rough game at times, I think, on both sides, but people here, certainly in Britain, have always said we didn't want to have a closer union. They said we just wanted a loose network of trading nations. And actually the thing I've learned from Brexit is that is what the European Union is.
What will you do after the Brexit?
I'll cover the trade negotiations.
Do you see one little small chance that maybe the majority of the Brits will maybe regret it after all?
Well, some people may regret it, but I don't believe there'll be a second referendum. I don't believe that this decision can be reversed. And I think that really there's something in the British culture where if you make a decision, we have a phrase, we've made our bed and we're going to lie in it. Now, it may be that things turn out differently. It may be in 30, 40 years when all of this has calmed down, but actually Britain is doing well. And that will pose an interesting question to the European Union. People will then look at Britain and say, well, this is a country which is doing well outside of the EU. And that's something which I don't think has been thought about sufficiently yet by the Commission.